All right, this is the Week 9 press conference with defensive coordinator, inside linebackers coach Peter Sirmon prior to Saturday's game against number 24 USC. We will go ahead and get started with questions. We'll go to Jeff Ferrato from Cal Sports Report first. Go ahead, Jeff.
How you doing, Peter?
Good afternoon, Jeff.
Can you talk just what you see in the USC offense? They've haven't been quite as explosive maybe the last week or two, but overall, just how difficult they are to defend and your impressions, of course, of the Heisman Trophy winner.
Well, they're exceptionally talented at all the skill positions. They do a really nice job of distributing the ball, building some formations that kind of undress some coverages so they can get a good picture of what you're doing. But it all starts with the quarterback position. It looks like Caleb Williams and the offensive coaching staff and Coach Riley are really in sync with one another. And they do a nice job of getting the ball to really dynamic playmakers and creating space for them.
Justin was asked on the previous call whether Caleb Williams is the best college quarterback he's ever faced, and he was struggling to think of somebody who was better. And I'm wondering, in your time coaching defense, have you come across anybody who compares?
Well, I had the opportunity to practice against him when I was at Louisville. Lamar Jackson was a pretty dynamic college player, and he's a pretty dynamic NFL player that, he threw a very accurate ball, that great ball velocity, was extremely tough to tackle. So those types of guys, have been out there, and Caleb Williams is definitely one of those guys that the entire conference has a hard time tackling. He's extremely accurate with his throws. He has some of those throws. He threw a ball against us last year coming to our sidelines, a comeback. He escaped the pocket and threw about a 35-yard rope on our sidelines. And it's one of those on the headset, it was complete silence. Like, that kid just made that throw. And, that's what he's capable of doing.
So if I can follow up, you guys obviously are not playing as well on that side of the ball as you're accustomed to, and as well as I'm sure you want to be playing. What were you able to do last week in practice to adjust that, tweak that? Your depth chart looks pretty much the same, so you're going with your guys, but what can you do to make it better?
Yeah, I think we have to continue to work on the fundamentals of what we need to do on defense. We need to do a better job. The first thing, is we haven't been efficient enough of getting people behind the chains, negative plays. We've had a hard time sacking the quarterback the last 4 weeks. I think the last 5 weeks, I think we have one recorded sack, and that goes all the way back to maybe game 2 or 3. So we have to do a better job of affecting the quarterback. It's when you're not playing well, sometimes you have a tendency of making things more complicated than they are. But when you have to strip things back on defense, we'll never hold the pen last on defense. Okay, and we're comfortable understanding that. We're going to have to play formations. We're going to play what the offense, provides us. When we have the opportunity, when the ball's in the air, we need to knock the ball down. It can't be a 5-step throw, plant off your back foot and throw it over our heads and not have contested throws. And then we have opportunities to get free runners at the quarterback. We have to get the guy on the ground if we want to play good defense. If you don't play good defense, then you're not going to do those things. So we need to improve on those areas.
USC has given up quite a few sacks the past 2 games. There were 2 defeats to Notre Dame and Utah. Is there anything you see when you watch the tape that applies to what you guys can do?
Yeah, teams are going after them, and not in the sense of bringing 5, 6, 7 guys a lot of the time, but they're rushing the quarterback. They're doing a good job of collectively rushing them together. It looks like they have a plan on how they're doing it. And then the back end guys are trying to be competitive with the wide receivers, and I think that combination is again it's not that hard, but to be able to do it, it's not easy either. So it's guys are playing hard. They're, last couple of weeks they've created some takeaways. So those are a big part of it. And the guys up front, Notre Dame and Utah, they're both pretty gosh darn good defenses. They got guys up front that can rush the quarterback, and if they do win, they have the ability to get them on the ground. And I think both teams did a nice job of staying attached in coverage and forcing some challenging throws.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go to Matt Moreno from Rivals.
Morning, Coach. Is there any particular challenge or maybe even advantage of going against a team that's had some struggles? I know, or is that something maybe more that we look at in terms of, hey, there's a team struggling, you guys are maybe getting them at the right time?
Yeah, Matt, I don't know if there's a right time or a wrong time to get a team. USC is healthy, and that's what we're concerned about is the skill level they're bringing. Challenging our defense. They have playmakers all over the field, so I don't get too wrapped up in when we get to play them. More as what we have to do from the defensive side of the ball with what they show on offense and the skill that they're going to bring into our place.
Next question will come from Thomas Dunn from Right for California.
Good morning, Peter. When it comes to the inside linebacker group, and obviously with the injury to Jackson, how is it crucial for the development for someone like Cade Uluwave, who's going from the physicality of a Utah team that likes to run it down people's throats to a USC team where Caleb Williams basically has to be spied on every single play? How much does that foster development and essentially being thrown in the fire for such a young linebacker?
Well, you bring up a good point. It's what you have to do on defense to really develop younger players. And, you're doing a really good job of pointing out the differences of, one offense to the next. And that's really apparent throughout the conference. And defensively, there has to be a foundation. There has to be a baseline of instruction to start from that has to be able to, kind of live with some durability. We use that term a lot, in our defensive staff. When we put new things in or new concepts in, they have to be durable. And what I mean by that is they have to be able to exist versus different styles of play. They have to have answers versus the run game, the throw game, the empties, FIB, formation of the boundary, what we call deads, which are unbalanced or all eligibles on one side. They have to have the durability, and the foundation of those calls and the foundation of the techniques have to have durability as well. So you don't have the opportunity to learn, new foundational techniques or new alignments from week to week. That would stunt the development of any player, much less a player with limited experience. So, what you're doing on defense for us is we're always trying to continue to grow and develop that durability so we can play against all the different variety of offenses we have. Cade is a good example of a guy that's having an opportunity to get in there and mix it up a little bit. I think he has good tools. He runs well. He's relatively inexperienced. He missed the majority of his senior year due to injury. So the last time he played as much as he was a junior in high school. So, there's the development of just playing ball. And then there's the, kind of getting back into getting an opportunity to play more. So we're excited about what he is going to be in the future. But, there's a lot of guys that have some opportunity now to play more. And I would expect to see quite a few guys rolling through an inside linebacker on Saturday afternoon.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go back to Matt Moreno.
Maybe on that note, obviously a bye week gives you a chance to kind of reevaluate some things. How much is there going to be, or should we anticipate maybe some personnel changes or maybe even differences in what you guys try and do defensively scheme-wise?
Well, I don't know that the week really provided a lot of different answers in terms of personnel. I think we have a good understanding of what our guys are. It didn't take a week of reflection to understand what our strengths and weaknesses are. We will always continue to look to develop guys and find roles for guys that can help us, that have shown they can do certain things. But, we spend so much time with this roster that there's not a ton of unknowns. So the bye week is more about, can we hone in on, hey, this guy can give us some help in certain situations, or, hey, this is a player that we need, to continue to get some more reps and invest in. But there's there's rarely in college football wholesale personnel changes. It's just not typically an environment that happens too often, because you get into the season and the guys that are maybe 2s and 3s aren't getting the amount of reps to really see a maturation, unless there's some injuries that require those guys to get some new reps. So, we'll continue to work as many guys in that we think can help us win. And we still got a lot of season left, and guys need to continue to develop. And when their opportunities present themselves,